guys, welcome to another video. We are here yet again to talk about the Sephora VIB sale holiday savings event. If you missed my first video, I shared my wish list items that I will be picking up, but I also wanted to come out with a recommendations video. Now I do have a whole Sephora playlist also, and I've done these videos, listen, I've been filming since the end of 2015, and I've been filming these videos twice a year for as long as my channel has been around, I believe. So I still stand by all of my former recommendations, but you know, new makeup is coming out all the time, so I wanted to share with you what I have been loving lately. And if you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly, and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup, so if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella family. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. If you do hear some giggling and laughter, Brielle was woken up by my dog, and so yeah, her nap was cut short, so she is in here with us eating a snack. But let's talk about some items that I recommend this go around, shall we? We'll start with primers. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video that I filmed in April. Probably should have gone back and looked at that, but I didn't. However, if you've been here for a while, you already know I love the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dewdrops. I have been using these as a primer. I wait for all of my skincare to set. I go in with a pump of this all over the face, let it set, and then I follow it up with my next primer. I have dry skin. This works wonders hydrating my skin. My friend Heather Austin has oily skin. She still likes this. So no matter your skin type, I definitely recommend that one. Once that primer sets, I do like to go in with my Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. Now, to be fair, I also had like the putty or the solid, and I used that up, finished it in my project pan, and I had this like smaller deluxe sample size, and I waited to try this out until I finished that one. I like both of them, but now it's been months since I tried the putty and I've been trying the liquid, and I think it's fine. Like, trying to recall, I feel like I prefer the putty perhaps over the liquid, but I like both of them. So you decide. I would recommend them both. I'll link them both down below in case you want to check them out, but I think it's a great primer. I just put it where I have like pores around my cheek area and on my forehead where I have wrinkles, and I just feel like it's very smoothing. I don't find it to be hydrating. I get my hydration from the Glow Recipe, but I find it to be very smoothing. I also don't know that I consider either of these to help my makeup wear for a longer amount of time, but I just try to prep my skin, prep my canvas, and that's my focus. So those are the two primers that I recommend. Now, going into foundations, I know that I have not recommended these two to you before, but I'm gonna recommend them today. The first being by Tom Ford. So expensive. So expensive. This is the, what's the correct name? Is it on here? Here we go. Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. I picked mine up in the shade 2.7 Vellum, and it's not the perfect shade match for me, but it works well enough. I was nervous because of the name matte. I have dry skin. I like more of like a natural finish, dewy, hydrating, and so I was like, oh matte, like this is not going to be for me. And this is $88. Okay? It's expensive, so if you're gonna get it, wait for a sale for sure. But I heard so many people rave about this, and Charlotte Holdcroft was the one who kept saying over and over and over that she loved it, that it wasn't a flat matte, that she thought it was great. So I bit the bullet, and I picked it up when Sephora was having their 20% off of all foundations, and I have to say, I really enjoy it. I don't find it to be super hydrating, but it's not a flat matte. It gives me more of like a natural finish, a little bit more matte than some of my other foundations in my collection. But if I go in with like a dewy, serum-y cocktail beforehand, I get a nice smooth finish. So I'm really into this one. But this next foundation though, I am planning in January of 2022 to rank my makeup, my foundations, my blushes, my bronzers, my eyeshadow palettes, the works. It's gonna be like a month of ranking. And I feel like this is going to be very, very high because this is the foundation that I keep reaching for time and time again. And it is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup with SPF 45. I am in the shade 2N1 Desert Beige. This is like the perfect match for me. Like absolute perfect match. Super hydrating, very comfortable on the skin. I live in Texas. I will take the SPF. I wear SPF underneath as well, but I will take the extra SPF. This gives me a very like dewy, hydrated look, which is what I'm going for. I absolutely love it. It's super comfortable, super long wearing, doesn't break up. Like it's the bee's knees for me. And I've wanted to try it for so long, and I waited for so long, and then it was on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale for half off, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. And it was a very good choice. Now, if you are doing flash photography, they say that SPF gives you a white cast, so definitely go with something without SPF if you're like, you know, having a photo shoot, but on a day-to-day, I definitely recommend this one. I feel like concealers aren't exciting, so I'm not gonna recommend a concealer. I feel like I've recommended some more before, but I do have some other face products. Let's start with some face palettes first. So I wanted this bad boy for so long, and it is the Benefit Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. Now, typically I'm not into their sets. I just feel like they're kind of redundant. It's like all the same and kind of boring, and I've never purchased one of their big sets before, but I decluttered all of like my boxed blushes, boxed bronzers. I didn't have anything from Benefit. I knew I wanted to get the Hoola back in my collection, and I used to have Dallas, and I wanted that back in my collection, and I've been wanting to try the Cookie Highlighter. But this is $60. Back in the beginning of 2021, this went on sale for like $30 at Sephora. I had it in my cart. I didn't purchase it. I went back like days later, and it was back up to $60. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was kicking myself for it. And then Smags came through and texted me, and it was on sale again for $45. So I had to pay $15 more than if I had gotten it the first time around, but I did pick this up on sale, and I have to say, I'm really impressed. I like all of the shades in here, and like I said, I already knew that I wanted Hoola and Dallas back in my collection, and I wanted to try Cookie, but I'm pleasantly surprised with the blushes as well. Now, do I think you need to purchase this for $60? No, I don't think you need to get it unless you want to try all of these shades for $60. It's pretty big and bulky, but if you're gonna get a deal and you've been interested in trying it, during the sale would be the right time to pick it up. Now, I'm not typically into palettes because I feel like sometimes with palettes you can't use all of the shades and then some go to waste, but that's not the case with the Benefit, and that's not the case with this Jouer Champagne and Macaroons. This is in the shade Sweet Cheeks because I do think they have two of these. I am able to wear every shade in here. You have a nice bronzer in the shade Suntan, the Citrine highlighter, which used to be an old OG on YouTube back in the day, and two blushes, Delight Me and Romance Me. I prefer Romance Me over Delight Me. Delight Me reminds me of that NARS blush. You know the one? The one that's, you know, viral that they're known for. It reminds me of that because it's like pink with almost a gold like shimmer or glitter in there, so I don't wear it a ton, but I really like Romance Me, Citrine, and Suntan. This one is much more sleek. I keep all of the plastics, so if you ever see me like reaching down, that's why it takes me so long to close them. This one's much more sleek and thin, easier to travel with. You do have a mirror in here, and I'm a fan of this one. The last palette that I want to talk to you about is from Pat McGrath. This is the, what are they calling this? The Divine Blush and Glow Trio, and I have the Galactic Sun. So in Galactic Sun, let me see if I can get these correct, okay? So this blush right here must be Divine Rose, Desert Orchid, and Golden Nectar Highlight. Now here's the deal. This is a pretty penny. It's pretty expensive. You get two blushes and a highlight. And some people who are very fair have been saying that they were disappointed or even that they returned this because of the highlight shade. The highlight shade can work for me. It's not like a great highlight shade for me because it is pretty deep, but if you have more of like a medium to tan skin tone, the highlight would be beautiful on you. But I am in love with these blushes, y'all. I love these blushes. I'm wearing the Desert or Divine Rose today. This one right here, Desert Orchid, is super pigmented. I feel like with Pat McGrath, Pat McGrath blushes. Sometimes I have to build them up a little bit, which I'm totally fine with, and I go in with this, you know, a few shades to build it up, and totally fine. This one, highly pigmented. So, I mean, I think it's like 50 something odd dollars, and for 2 blushes, if you can't get the highlight, you might feel like it's not the best bargain. I don't typically reach into the highlight too much, but I like it for the 2 blushes. And like I said, if you have a little bit of a deeper skin tone, you will be able to wear the highlight. I know that it is a single highlighter, I believe, and a ton of people have it and love it. So definitely recommend that one. My hair, y'all, just excuse it, okay? It needs to be washed. It's having a moment. Speaking of Pat McGrath, let's just stick with her, shall we? I do also recommend her blushes, like her single blushes. This one is in the shade Nymphette. Now, Nymphette, I think, for some reason, has not been on the Sephora website. I got mine from the Pat McGrath website. I thought all of the shades were on Sephora. Nymphette is not. I will link the blushes that you can find at Sephora, and perhaps while you're shopping, you can find another shade that you like. But overall, I really like her formula. I feel like it gives me a satin finish, so it's not a flat matte. I have a nice sheen, and I mean, they're beautiful to look at. They're beautiful, they're buildable. I'm a fan. So if you want some, now would be the time to get them. One last blush formula that I want to recommend is by Buxom. I have 2 of the primer infused blushes, the Wanderlust blushes. I have Dolly and Seychelles. If you could only get one, get Seychelles. Get Seychelles. I love it. It looks like it's going to be light. It looks like it's not going to show up and be pigmented, but so pigmented, so beautiful, gives a nice sheen on the skin. Seychelles is a shade that I like never put down. I constantly am wearing it. I have to pry it out of my hands. I love it so much. Dolly is a little bit more of like a deeper mauve shade, and honestly, I thought that I was gonna like Dolly more, but I prefer Seychelles. Either way, love these blushes, primer infused, very long wear. It was only a matter of time before she made her way from the bed over to here. She lasted 15 minutes, so my daughter is right here. But I only have one highlighter that I'm going to recommend, and that's because it is my all-time favorite highlighter of life at the moment, and it's my Natasha Denona Super Glow. I have the shade Fair. It's absolutely stunning. This is a beaming from space highlight, like you will see it. Pretty sure I have messing with my makeup. Pretty sure I recommended this before, but still, stand by it, recommend it, love it. Then I have a few palettes, and I feel like if you're gonna go for a palette, and there were some pricey palettes that you wanted to try out, now would be the time to try them. The only... Is it a brush?
What is it called?
It's just a makeup brush. You don't have to put the plastic back on, that's okay. We'll throw it away. Okay, so the only quad that I have from Pat McGrath is this one right here in Bronze Borealis. I got this from the Pat McGrath website. I'm hoping it comes to Sephora. This is the only Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette that I have, and I've said before in my Sephora recommendations that if you're going to get a Pat McGrath, a Charlotte Tilbury, a Natasha Denona, during the sale would be the time, but I love this. I love this quad. I feel like it was worth it. I definitely would highly recommend it. And then I have 2 eyeshadow palettes that she's reaching for from Natasha Denona. These are my go-tos. If you are wanting a Natasha Denona and you are a neutral lover like myself, these are the 2 palettes that I recommend. First is the Glam. It's a little bit more cool toned, and even though I feel like I'm not a cool toned lover, I still love this eyeshadow palette. The shimmers are amazing. The mattes are super blendable. So nervous. She's got some Natasha in her hand right now. But I definitely love the Glam palette.
Can you help me?
Yes. And then for my birthday, Smegs picked up the Retro palette for me. This has become a fast favorite. You have more of like a rosy, pinky style going on here. Again, the mattes are super blendable. The shimmers are amazing, and I just really enjoy this formula, and I feel like it looks great on the eyes. So if Natasha Denona is someone you have been wanting to try, definitely recommend these 2 palettes. And I didn't want to leave you without any lip options. So one that I wanted to pop up, or I wanted to talk to you about, is the NARS Audacious lipsticks. I have one on my wish list, but I've tried two in the past, Anna and Anita. I used to own Anna and Anita for many, many years, and then they went bad and I had to get rid of them. But the quality is great. It's expensive. It's $30-something for a lipstick, but they're long lasting. They're comfortable on the lips, and they have some amazing shades. So I definitely recommend. Can you not pump that out, girl? I definitely recommend the NARS Audacious lipsticks. Another lipstick formula that I fell in love with, I got this in an influencer. This is by Givenchy, and it's their Le Rouge Deep Velvet. This one is in the shade 35. It's like a red shade, and every time I wear this, I get compliments. Now, it is a matte formula, so it dries down very matte, but it's so creamy. It literally feels like velvet on your lips, and every time I wear it, I get compliments. Again, it's Givenchy, so it's more expensive. What are you doing? So it's more expensive, but I'm literally putting my dewdrops on the back of my hand because someone is pumping them out right now. But I definitely love this lipstick formula, so if you're looking for a comfortable matte, go for Givenchy. Okay, y'all, luckily we made it. Those are my recommendations this year for the Sephora VIB sale. Let me know if you shop the sale. What is it that you picked up? What are you going to pick up? I would love to know. Do not pump anymore out, please. But we have dewdrops going everywhere and makeup falling on the ground. So we are gonna go. But thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.